Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm going to be your pilot wannabe for today's flight. We're going to be going from Hollywood, Florida to the Bahamas, specifically Nassau. And I don't think I've ever flown out of this airport before. Oh, I got an actual nice mix of planes sitting around. I keep the simulator 2024 keeps populating all the parking spaces with the same plane. This time they've given me a mix, so that's cool. Anyway, we're taking my absolute favorite plane, the Cessna 414 Chancellor from FlySimware. I finally got it working. I had to take drastic steps, but I did get it working. It's almost working perfectly, except for the avionics. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Actually, I already recorded the next portion you're going to see, which is talking about the flight plan and how the steps I have to take to get an IFR flight plan, at least on the Xbox. Anyway, I don't know how PC people are doing it. I would imagine it's working the way it's supposed to for them. Sounds like it would be nice, but not how it works for me. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, this is the plane, and we'll talk just a little bit more about it before we get going. After you see the flight plan in two different ways. Okay, see you there. Okay, so I'm recording things a little out of order here. Because I wanted to show you guys what you have to do, or at least my understanding of what you have to do to get an IFR flight, at least if you're on the Xbox. You have to get it all set up here on the world map screen. You have to add your waypoints in, which, by the way, if you don't know how to do that, you come over here to the lower right-hand side and you can make the nav aids and stuff visible, which, yeah, it gets a little hectic. And then you can pick one of them. See, we've got ZBV, so you could pick one and hit add, and it'll add it, which I'm not going to do that. And once you have them added in, here I'm gonna unclutter this. Once you have them added in, then they'll be on this page here on the EFB. It'll show them. I haven't had any success at manually adding them on this screen. You have this add waypoint button here, and I hit it, and I can like add in one maybe, and that's it. I'm not even sure that it's fully adding that, but you have to add it in here, and then hit file plan with ATC and send route to avionics. So, and you also have to make sure it says IFR in this box. So that's all of that. I'll try to talk more about it when we're back in the plane and stuff. But we'll probably look at the flight plan on Sky Vector like normal after this. So see you there. Yeah, same plan here on Sky Vector. I'm going for 13,000 feet. Says it's going to take about an hour. We're probably near sea level in both places. Yeah, taking off from North Perry Airport in Hollywood, Florida. Elevation of 8 feet above sea level. So fun. And we're going to Nassau in the Bahamas. Twice the elevation at 16 feet above sea level. Crazy. Look there, it's got an ATIS 118.7. Am I ever going to remember that? No, I'm never going to remember that. I should have written it down. for some reason, the simulator thinks that it's got runway 10 and 28 instead of 9 and 27. Whatever. Either way, though, big runway should be fine. I'm going to take off with full tanks because if I was doing this for real, I don't want to pay $10 a gallon for 100 low lead. That's just crazy. Weather's nice, nothing going on. Wind's light, even at altitude. Here, be easier to see the wind if I do that first and zoom in a smidge. Wind at 14,000 feet is just going to have a light crosswind out of the north, so shouldn't have much effect on us. All right, I'll see you guys back in the plane. Okay, my favorite plane. Here we are. Fortunately, I can't remove the tie downs and the chocks and all of that junk from the outside. I have to do it with the with FlySimware's tablet on the inside, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. Maybe one day. Let's see. I think I took off with the pitot cover still on the other day, but you know, you're bound to have things like that happen when you have a pilot wannabe, and it's all a simulation anyway. But oh yeah, I was going to mention this exact livery. Note that I can't get my my tail number. It'll on the ATC on the radio, it'll say the tail number I've chosen, but visually it stuck with this tail number. But ironically, this exact plane is for sale right now. Maybe I'll bring up the window. You know what? Let's do that. So this is November 414 Whiskey Bravo. It's that's the livery anyway. That's on this Cessna 414A Chancellor. Stand by a moment. Well, okay, never mind. It's sold already. It was just a few days ago that I found this exact one with this exact livery. The interior was a whole different color scheme than the stock one in the simulator here. But yeah, it was this exact one. It said call for price. Wish I remember now what year it was. I think it was in 1982. But it had like a gray and black interior, I think. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, interesting. That one didn't last on the market very long. But well, let's hop inside and start getting things going. We're faking it here a little bit. We'll get right in close and then hit the buttons to be inside. Yay. Yeah, that one had you know, the curtains were removed and the seats looked entirely different, all refinished and everything. But yeah, that's crazy that it sold that fast. It's crazy too that there's that much of a market for these planes, you know, that the market's that hot, you know, and it goes that fast. I think it's kind of I still wonder again why they don't still make planes like this. Pressurized you know, light twins, technically a light twin, but you know. Huh, crazy. Yeah, I don't remember. It didn't have this kind of a setup. I don't remember what it had. I feel like it had just like a 530 and 430 here. Anyway, let's see how much startup stuff do I want to show you guys? I don't know. It's been a while since we. I feel like it's been a while since I've gone through a whole startup process. So maybe we'll do that. I mean, I'm gonna do it one way or another. I've got a homemade checklist that I cobbled together from looking at images of checklists and things for the Chancellor. Got it on my Chromebook. If I can find it, I have a whole lot of windows open on my Chromebook. There we go. All right. 414. Before starting engines, fuel and loading. Well, oh yeah, I didn't really do that. It used to be in Simulator 2020. Okay, which by the way, what I had to do to get this to work, I'll talk about it once we're rolling. But I actually uninstalled Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I only have 2024 in right now, and that seemed to be about the only way I could get this plane to work. Anyway, in 2020, you had to do all of your loading with the tablet that came with the plane. We're going to let's see. See, I don't even know if it'll work on here. We'll see. Right now, as we sit with 50% fuel, we're at 5,904 pounds. Now, if I bring up the simulators tablet and we go to the page where we do the loading, are we going to see that reflected on here? That's what I wonder. Let's find out. No. Okay, if I change it on here, will it reflect on the 2024 tablet? Yes. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Bang. Okay, that's working. But I can't pick pilot and co-pilot weights. I can't actually see the co-pilot in this plane. This is like the only one, which is cool. I'm not going to have any passengers, but I do want to have some cargo. So in the nose locker, I'm thinking 50 pounds, maybe more, maybe 75 pounds in the nose locker. So that's this one. What if I add it? Nothing's changing. Oh wait, or am I on the right one? Locker, nose, locker, nose. Yeah, go figure. 75 pounds. Okay, well, let's just match it up. 75 pounds. Make it 76. I always have to move the plus or minus to get it to actually stick. Okay, and then cargo, 50 pounds. Cargo, be back here. 50 pounds. I can't reach the plus. Huh. Let's make that 51 pounds. And then I'll hit the minus. There we go. And then wing lockers. Only do 16 pounds in one and 8 in the other. Let's do 8 in both of the wing lockers. And will that show? Of course not. Get 9. Subtract 1. Could barely get to that one. Make it 9. Subtract 1. You know, this isn't really working perfectly yet. I know we're all aware of that, but yeah. Okay, and then I want to have a co-pilot. So let's do that. Although that doesn't really reflect on here. Now let's see what have we got. Has our total changed? It has changed. I'm not going to do the math to see if that reflects what we actually did. As long as we're close and we got full tanks, so. Okay, on here it says our center of gravity is 14.3, but on here it says it's 13. C'est la vie. Oh, do we have to load it in the aircraft first? Load in aircraft. There we go. 14, close enough. Okay, we'll call that good. Okay, so fuel and loading. Check. Parking brake set. Let's investigate. It looks like this plane's doing a good job of leaving things where I left them. See, parking brake. Yeah, the parking brake was not set. Let me hold the brakes and hit the switch. Now, okay, parking brake set. Now remove chocks and covers. Sure. Pitot covers, very important. Static wicks, tie downs, engine plugs, chocks. Check, check, and check. Okay. We're going to turn that off for the time being because I don't know how to recharge it and it will go dead. At least it did in Simulator 2020. Emergency crossfeed shut off. Check, open, and I'm going to just run through things because I set up the checklist to go kind of in order here. So, emergency crossfeed shut off is supposed to be down like it is, so it's down. Now, both wing tanks, or both engines anyway, set to main on the fuel selectors. This is the cowl flaps. They're supposed to be open, so we open them. Then we double check that the prop sync is off. That's on. That's off. Supposed to make sure that the other switches are off. Let's see. Air conditioner's off. We're going to check all the circuit breakers over here. Circuit breakers look to be all in. We're going to check the other switches over here. We're going to move this crash bar out of the way. And that one. All these switches are off. Off, off, off. All is off. And all these circuit breakers down here appear to be in. So that's emergency crossfeed, check open, fuel selectors both on main, cowl flaps will open, yaw damper off, which is not a separate switch anymore, because with this avionics setup, the yaw damper is right there. And if you have the 530, I think it's a 530 430 combination in here, then the yaw damper switch is down here. It's a rocker switch. Prop sync off, all switches off, landing gear lever check down. Wow, it doesn't move when I click it. I have to actually use the scroll wheel. And it works with my Honeycomb Bravo. Okay. Circuit breakers all in. All right, mixture full rich. This is the part that was not working before. Love that clicky noise. But yeah, when I was trying to use the plane before, they were stuck down here like this and wouldn't move. But I uninstalled both the 2020 simulator and the 2024 and reinstalled the 2024, and now everything seems to work, except for the GTN 750s don't work right. We'll get into that later. Propellers full forward, check. Throttles half inch. That might be a half inch, who knows? I'm looking at a 70-inch television screen, so. Flight controls check, free and correct. Okay. We're going to go ahead and cheat, and instead of walking around, like trying to look through the windows, we're going to go to the follow behind view. Okay, I'm making the box movement here, which is to say, I'll show you on the inside. I pull all the way back, turn all the way one way, push all the way forward, turn all the way the other way, and make a big box. Okay, and rudder working, which is nice because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I have to unplug the Honeycomb trolley and plug it back in again. Okay, all of that is working. Now battery and alternator's on. For whatever reason, never works with the switch I have bound to it on the Honeycomb Alpha. I have to do the battery switch manually. The alternator switches work with the switch I have bound to it, though. Don't know why. So annoying. Annunciator panel test. That's this button right here. Oh yeah, I've been having a problem with this plane that I don't know how to fix. It's related to the landing gear. We'll see. I keep, when I put the landing gear down, I get all three green and I get the red unlock button. And then I have the alarm sounding all the time, the landing gear alarm when I've got full flaps in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See lights, check all exterior. I would, but we know they're going to work. This plane isn't supposed to have random failures, although I just described one that it's having. Anyway, flaps, check operation. All right, we'll go back outside again for this. Yeah, we got some flap movement. There's all 3 down stages. And I'll run them back up after I get an engine going so we're not killing the battery. Cabin door closed and latched. Yeah, I did that. Lights and nav on. Nav light on. Fuel, check quantity. What? Look at this. The left tank is not full, like the right tank. Well, that's peculiar. Didn't we just go over this a couple minutes ago? Fuel, showing 100% there. The stupid tablet. Huh, well, look at that. All right, 103. Gotta go down and then back up. Okay. Well, that was really strange. Boy, I tell you. It's still not showing over there. Off and back on. Still not showing there, but it is showing there. Okay, this is freaking me out. There we go. Well, let's compare one more time to the 2024 tablet. Yeah, okay. Well, that's super weird. Okay, well, moving on. Prop area clear, yeah. That's, even if it wasn't clear, doesn't matter. All these people walking around, they're like ghosts. It'll pass right through them. Won't hurt them at all. All right, engine start. Magnetos, left engine both on. Okay, real strange thing. I have the magneto switches, which are these 4 switches down here. I have them bound to buttons on the keyboard, F1, 2, 3, and 4. And on other planes, I can hit those buttons and it'll cause all those switches to just go up. But this one, for whatever reason, I can turn on that one. That's F1. But then when I hit F2, it turns that one back off again. I have to have a whole separate button for both, which is strange. So I got to do it manually. So, okay, magnetos, left engine both on. Check. Usually fuel pump left engine on low. That's this switch right here. On low. Primer left engine 1 to 2 seconds. Probably not going to take very long. It's probably hot here. Yeah, it's hot. I can see the thermometer back there right now. Look at that. It's real hot. Damn hot. Anyway. Okay. We'll go ahead and give it a couple seconds of prime anyway. Now I do have a button bound for the starter. We're going to hit that. And it's alive. Oil pressure came up probably quicker than what it would in real life, I'm guessing. But say la vie. Ooh, a little too much in the RPM department there. Yeah, that was apparently way more than half an inch. Since we shot up to 1500 RPMs. Okay, bring it on down. Bring it on down. Close enough. Alright. Primer, starter, check for oil pressure, and then 900, 2000 RPMs. Close enough. Repeat above with right engine. So, magnetos. Fuel pump on low. Prime it for a second or two. Hit the button. She's alive. Oil pressure shoots right up. RPM's coming up. I never remembered to do this. One day I really gotta learn. I've got the whole thing downloaded. I know how. I have the instructions for how to work this thing. Supposed to be a way that I can, you know, show that it's full, and I never do it. I'll put it on the checklist and try to figure it out. Okay, we'll just leave it on pounds used since it showing how much is left is going to be completely inaccurate. I'm going to go ahead and throw on the avionics switch right there. Okay. Yeah, I'm departing from the checklist here. Okay, we're going to be playing the cabin temperature minigame here, and it's already hot in the cabin, so we're going to turn the air conditioner on. And I think we'll turn it on high for now, until we get that under control. Okay, oh good, we've got a magenta line, because if we didn't, there's nothing I can do about it. We'll come back to that issue. Okay, alternators check. That's this gauge down here. Left alternator appears to be charging. Right alternator appears to be charging. Gauge does move. Okay. Vacuum system, can't see it because the tablet's in the way. Yeah, vacuum system's good. Oh. The vacuum system needle is a secret click spot. So is that one. What do you think? I clicked it. I'll click it again to put whatever it is back, I guess. Click that one. And click that back. Might be for like the floodlight or something. I don't know. Anyway, vacuum system check. Auxiliary fuel pumps both off. Tablet's still in the way. Okay, fuel pumps off. Avionics master on, did that. Climate controls, working on it. Transponder set on standby. Well, I'll turn it on standby, but we can't set it yet because we haven't been given a squawk code yet. So, standby. Now, I need a swig of coffee. It's not on the checklist, but I'm doing it anyway. I suppose it's worth mentioning that I have it on real weather, or live weather, but I don't have the live time. Just for me, it's like, I don't know, 10 p.m. or something. And I put it roughly in the middle of the day. Yeah, it's 9:35 Eastern time in the U.S. right now. Let's see, what is this? Oh, it's 15:48 UTC. Can I change that? Yeah, there we go. 11:48 local. Very nice. Yeah. Good. All right, where are we at? Avionics set. Yeah, now this would be the part where I would normally like to manually program the flight plan, except the GTN 750 works, except you can't change anything related to the flight plan. As a matter of fact, I found out last time I was flying it, I can't even skip ahead and hit activate, like, you know, activate leg. I can hit that, but nothing will happen. I'm not going to try it now because I don't want to screw it up in case, you know, there's been an update and I'm wrong. But it won't let me change anything. It won't let me manually input anything. It won't let me do a direct to a new location. I cannot change my mind. I have to go with what I send from the tablet flight plan, unfortunately. Oh boy. Anyway, I always get confused about which one of these I have set for heading up and which one is north up. Okay, yeah, this one's north up. Okay, this one's north up. So I'm going to zoom that one in. This one's heading up. I'm going to zoom it out. Okay. But yeah. The last time I tried this plane with the 430 combination, it didn't work at all. The screens were just blank. So I'll take this over blank screens, obviously. See, autopilot set, I would assume that would mean pre-selecting an altitude, which on an IFR, they might give me an altitude first. That's not my ultimate altitude, but we'll go with wishful thinking and just go ahead and run it up to 13,000. Wow, it really took off on me there. We'll just run it up to 13,000 and hope that I get cleared directly to my altitude. Okay, radios, obtain ATIS, and blah, blah, blah. And I could bring up the, yeah, might as well just bring up the menu here. I have reset this and bound the keys on the keyboard to these choices multiple times. It keeps ignoring me and not remembering it. I'll try again maybe after another update. Maybe we'll have some success. But anyway, so Addis is 135, 475. 135, 475. Do it to it. Well, maybe.
North Perry Airport information, Kilo 0100 Zulu. Wind 097 at 11.
711.
Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 5,100 feet, temperature 26. Dew point 16. Altimeter tree 021. 01. Visual runway 10L and visual runway 10 are in use.
What did she say? She said a bunch of numbers. Now I gotta let her do it again. I wasn't looking, I was drinking coffee again. You say 3021?
Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo.
Yeah. Give it to me again, lady.
North Perry Airport information, Kilo 0100 Zulu. Wind 097 at 11.
No, tell me, yeah, 3021.
Sky condition, few clouds at 5,100 feet, temperature 26. Dew point 16.
Ground 12045.
Visual runway 10L and visual runway 10 are in use. Landing and departing runway 1.
Bang. Request IFR. There we
North Perry ground, Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo. IFR to Nassau, ready to copy.
Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo is cleared to Nassau Airport. As filed, expect runway 10. Our maintain 13,000
right.
feet. Departure frequency is 125. 5 squawk 0004.
0004, okay. Answer him.
Cleared to Nassau as filed, runway 10. Our maintain 13,000 feet. Departure frequency is 125.
10.
0004 Cessna
At least
November
I got my
Papa Whiskey Bravo.
my altitude.
Cessna Papa Whiskey
Okay,
Bravo.
runway.
Correct. Contact ground on 120. 45 when ready to taxi. Good day.
2045, that's what I'm on right now, buddy. Okay. Alright, and my desired track's gonna be 116. Uh, 116. Okay, I gotta zoom in closer. See what I'm doing? 16. So that's 090. That's 100. That's 110. What did I say the desired track was? 116? Right about there. Right about there. Okay. Oh yeah, the other altimeter. Way over here. 3021. I think. Okay. Moving back. It's a weird thing there. Okay. All right. So altimeter set radius. Yeah, obtain the weather. Set the altimeter. Yeah. Taxi lights on. Sure. Taxi lights on. And get clearance for taxi. That's the end of that checklist. Now the taxi and run-up checklist. Yeah, parking brake release, throttles is required, test the brake, check the instruments, blah, 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 blah. Then it's run up. So, let's get clearance taxi. Thought I turned my tablet off, but it's still on. There we go. Alright, request taxi. IFR.
North Perry ground, Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo with Kilo ready
getting
to
chilly
taxi.
in here.
IFR.
Let's turn that back to low. And turn
Cessna
that
November
off for now.
85 Papa Whiskey Bravo taxi to and hold short runway 10. Our via taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 28 L Foxtrot Echo cross runway 1. Our Echo cross runway 1L. Contact tower on 132. 1 when ready.
1321. Sure. was a lot,
Taxi,
though.
hold short runway 10. Are using taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 28L Foxtrot Echo cross runway 1. Our Echo cross runway 1L Cessna Papa Whiskey
Why would
Bravo.
we do all of that? Because he's talking about, yeah, going out here and crossing here and all of that. Yeah, we're not going to do all that. We're just going to take this taxiway down here and get at the start of the runway, because I'm pretty sure that's 10 right. Say, Libby. Okay. Releasing the parking brake. Giving it some left engine. Hey, there's a plane there now. I got to turn tighter. Okay, more left engine. Yeah, I wish there was a way to tell it to put I don't know, 50% the number of airplanes parked on the ground as what it currently does, because everywhere is crowded with planes parked on the ground. I know you could adjust that in Simulator 2020, but I haven't found where you can adjust it on 2024 yet. You know, we'd be hitting wings with these planes, but they've just made it too damn crowded. I can't get out of here. Okay, I haven't really been looking at the instruments. Oh, I am crossing a runway. I'm crossing one right here. I'm not saying I'm crossing one right here. I'm saying that right here I'm crossing one right. You know what I mean. I'm sure not crossing 28, am I? Oh, unless this is 28 right here. We'll find out here in a second. Well, that air conditioner is really humping. Oh, see, look, it got warm again. Cooler with the knob. This is one left. Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about. Yeah, he said a lot of stuff. I don't know what it all meant. Oh, so this is the start of one runway. Wow, I'm confused now. I'm like getting my directions confused. Okay, so this should be... Shouldn't this be 10, right? Yeah, this is 10 right. And I'm facing... I'd be facing... 1, like 0, 1. 0, 1 left. Yeah, 1 left. Man, confusing. All right, we're doing parking brake, except it didn't go because of the glowing base there, the invisible dot again that I complain about all the time. All right. See, we did the taxi. Now we're going to do run up. Parking brake set. Windows closed and locked. Yeah, check. Trim set for takeoff. It's at the top of the takeoff area. I've noticed if I put it down in the middle of the takeoff area, she wants to lift off the ground on her own before I rotate. So we'll just get it barely down into the top of the takeoff box. Okay. Trim, fuel, check quantity. I guess let's make sure you haven't developed a leak on the way over here. We'll double check because we had weird stuff going on with the fuel anyway. Yep. Fuel gauges are fine. Already used 4 pounds of fuel. Alternate air and ram dump check all in. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the yoke for this. Okay, the alternate airs are in. See, there's out, there's in, out, in. Ram dump in. Press air, pull to dump. Yeah, those are both in. I'm going to go ahead and hit the pressurization switch while we're over here, because that'll be on here eventually. Oh yeah, that's the next one. Pressurization control set. Okay. So it's set to pressurize right now. It's at 500 above surface level, which is where I left it last time I was flying the plane. We're going up to 13,000 feet, so we're going to go ahead and pressurize to 14,000, which will give us a cabin pressure just over 2,000. Won't that be nice? Flight controls check free and correct again. We're not going to do that because it's not going to mess up. This is a plane that's not supposed to have random failures. Auxiliary fuel pumps on low. These back on low. Fuel selectors both on crossfeed. Yeah, I just recently added this because I figured I'm sure in real life the checklist is more complex than this. I'm sure you're checking the de-icing and all kinds of stuff like that. But we're not going to do that. Alright, fuel selectors both on crossfeed. Alright. Whoa, that was a lot of camera movement. I apologize. Throttles 1700 RPM. I'm holding the brakes down. On top of the parking brake being set. Whoa, too aggressive. Too aggressive. I'm at almost 1800 RPMs. Trying to back it off a little bit. No, it's probably not. Yeah, it wasn't moving because the invisible dot in the middle of the screen came to rest on something, so the throttles weren't moving. I can't wait till they fix that. I mean, it took them a long time to fix it with Simulator 2020, so God knows how long before they fix it on this one. All right, 1700 RPMs. Hydraulic flow lights off. That is correct. You know what? We're gonna stow this. We don't need this in our face right now. Flow lights are off. Vacuum system check. Looks good. Don't know why the needle lights up. LCD panel check. No warnings. Well, we got the warning for the air conditioner being on, which we'll take care of that in a minute. Alternators. Getting a hell of a glare off of the gauge there. Getting it off of it. Alternators are working. Magnetos. Okay, here's where we look for RPM drop on the magnetos. So we're gonna turn off both of the lefts. We don't get much of a drop, do we? I feel like in 2020 there was a more pronounced drop on the magneto test on this plane. 'Cause, yeah, they hardly drop at all. Alright, magnetos, propellers feather 3 times, so just gonna get it below 1500 RPMs a couple of times. And I'm gonna try getting it down to 1500 and holding it. Seems to be working, which of course it shouldn't fail. Propellers full forward, fuel selectors both back on main. Okay, throttles 1000 RPMs. Roughly. Timer start, parking brake release. Okay. I feel like we skipped something. Let me see what the next checklist is. Take off and everything. Okay, it holds short. Flaps up. Oh yeah, we never did that. That's why it's on the checklist. Okay, flaps up. Cowl flaps full open. Check. I'll get my back. Transponder on altitude. Oh, where's the altitude button on this one? It's over here. Altitude reporting. Anti-ice is required, yeah, not necessary. Fuel, auxiliary fuel pumps both on low, check. Pitot stall heat. Probably not really going to need it for a while, but we'll go ahead and turn on the pitot heat, and I can't find a way to bind a switch for stall heat, so we got to do it with the cursor. Lights, taxi off, all others on. So, landing lights on, strobe light on, taxi light off. Clearance, obtain takeoff clearance, and turn off the air conditioner, or put it on circulate, which it's noisy anyway, so we're going to turn it off. Let's go ahead and turn it off now. Whoops, I put it on circulate. There's off. And then after we get clearance, at the lineup, it's propellers full forward, make sure it's full rich, brakes hold, throttle to 30 psi. Check the, make sure there's no warnings, check that all the instrument needles are in the green, as they currently pretty much are. Release the brakes and then go to red line and rotate at 105 knots. And then your usual tap the brakes for landing gear and raise it when you've got a, positive rate of climb. Landing lights off and retract, which the landing lights in this is the only one that works. It's the only 3-position switch like this that works, bound to a switch on the Honeycomb Alpha. I don't know why, but it does. Anyway, throttles and propellers are top of the green, and we wait to screw with the mixture till later. So that all sounds good. I'm gonna put the checklist away and get clearance. Oh, that's not the view I wanted. Here, let's try that. Okay, the tower. I'm just going to pick it here. Request takeoff clearance IFR. There we go. Feels funny that looking down the runway and I'm not actually on the runway.
Ready for departure runway 10. Our IFR to Nassau.
Okay, releasing the parking brake, by the way.
November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo altimeter tree 0 21 cleared for takeoff runway 10R.
Fabulous.
Cleared for takeoff runway 10. Our Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
Okay. I guess we'll do this by the book instead of just rolling into it. So we're lined up. 10 right. I'm gonna go to 30 psi. No warnings. All the needles are in the green. Release the brakes and go to red line. Which staying just under red line, so which isn't quite all the way forward on the throttles. See, it's supposed to rotate at 105, but I find it's usually trying to leave the ground before then. But I haven't tried, really filling it with weight either. So, we're gonna run out of runway here pretty soon. So there's that. Yeah, we're pulling up now. Yep, just in time. Wonder how long that runway is. Okay, I tapped the brakes. I'm raising the gear. I'm turning off the landing lights. Whoa. I'm losing control of the plane. See, it's supposed to be at a 1,000 feet above
Miami departure on 125.
the ground.
Good day.
Is when you're supposed to go to the top of the green. You answer her.
125. 5
I'm
Cessna
going
Papa
to
Whiskey
roll on
Bravo.
the course here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the manifold pressure down to the top of the green. And the RPMs down into the green. And I'm going to hit the button to change the frequency and contact the
Miami
new
departure Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo is at 1,400 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo Miami departure altimeter tree 0. 21 radar contact continue.
I overshot the magenta a little bit. Alright, no big deal. We'll just keep chasing it here. Actually, I'm probably going to get the autopilot on. I'm hitting the autopilot now. And I'm going to hit nav right away because we're real close to it. Anyhow. And vertical speed. Can I get some vertical speed going? Yeah, we're at 1,200 feet per minute, which is not quite getting it. We're supposed to be at 125 indicated on the climb, so I guess we'll back the vertical speed off a smidge until we get that. It's probably because it's hot. I'm betting that's why it's not climbing as smartly as usual. Okay, feels like I'm forgetting things now. Let's see. Checklist. Let's see, rotate at 105. After liftoff. For some reason my checklist isn't letting me move. Landing gear retracted, lights, lane lights off and retract. Yep, check. Top of green, make sure it's defer. Okay. Let's go to the climb checklist. Pitch for 125, which we're doing better than that now. Oh, yaw damper on, but that comes on automatically with the autopilot. Yeah, we're doing better now. So let's go ahead and pop this back up to 1,200 feet per minute. Let's take a closer look at the engine settings here. All right, we are very much at the top of the green. Let's kind of make that 3450 on the manifold pressure. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And let's actually bump that up to 2,600 RPMs. Actually, for a cruise, I don't know if you should consider this a cruise climb. This is like max climb. Let's go ahead and bring it down to 2,500 RPMs for like a cruise climb. There we go. Okay, and I have read it both ways, but from my understanding, this is a turbocharged and fuel-injected airplane, so you don't screw with the mixtures until you're ready to set your cruise power. Good thing I'm IFR, because we're in the soup now. Why is my co-pilot so tall? I had to make this new camera setting and raise it some just to be eye to eye with her. I mean, it's like they know I'm short or something. What else we got on the checklist? Cow flaps as required. Okay, I guess I should look at engine temperatures. Oh, and it does say prop sync on, but off every time you adjust the engines. I don't know. I'm not going to screw with it right now. Let's look at our temperatures. We don't have a fancy engine monitor in here. We've only got these dumb needles, and they're reading just over 300 on the cylinder head temperature, and EGT's not terribly high, so I don't know. I'll leave the cow flaps the way they are for now. How about cabin temperature? Let's play the cabin temperature mini game. It's a mite chilly. These are the temperature controls over here. I'm going to turn them up some. See what that does for us. And you know what? We're going to get a quick outside shot, and then I'll probably pause the recording until we hit cruise. So prepare your ears for an outside shot. There she is. The 414 that was briefly for sale. Yeah, we're going to be hitting more clouds here, it looks like. Anyway. Alright, we'll get back in the plane when we hold off for the cruise. See you there. Alright, gang, we're just hitting 13,000 feet. We got handed off to a different frequency while I was not recording.
American 775 climb.
Now
And
they're gonna
maintain
yak.
FL tree 30.
I'll turn that volume down a little bit. Oh wait, that wasn't working either last time I looked. Volume.
Climb and maintain FL tree 30.
It is working.
American
Okay, there we go.
775.
Great. Okay, let's do the cruise checklist. Auxiliary fuel pumps both off. So, I'm going to turn one of them off. Wait, 1000, 1000. Engine's still running, so then we're going to turn the other one off. I do that because of a YouTuber I watch, a real pilot, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, but we'll come back to that. Okay, auxiliary fuel pumps both off. Throttles 21 to 34. You know what? We're going to come back to the engine settings because I found charts. I found charts that tell me what engine settings to put it at. So you're supposed to do the engine settings in the cowl flaps as required. LCD panel monitor, engine instruments monitor. You know, monitor the charging of the alternators in the vacuum system and the pressurization and all of that. So let's take a quick look at the pressurization. Yep, just over 2,000 feet on the cabin pressure. Here's the cabin differential, and it's not climbing or descending, so beautimous. All right, let's look at the cabin temperature mini game real quick. I got the heat cranked over here, and we're just on the bottom. Let's come back to that. I can turn on the actual heater if I need to. All right, let's look at the engines. All right, I never turned on the synchronizer, so I don't need to turn it off. All right, now on my Chromebook here, I found charts. Now the charts don't cover specifically 13,000 feet, but it does cover 15,000 feet. So that's what we're going to look at. All right, so first of all, what is the outside air temperature? That looks to be in Celsius. What am I looking at here? Oh, that's minus 20. It's right around 0, right? Around 0 Celsius, I think. You know what? It says it on here. Be a little more accurate on here. 2, yeah, so close enough. 2. So, right around 0. Okay, and this chart I'm looking at says if I wanted to go to 33 PSI on the engines. Let's try to get that. 33 PSI is right, isn't it? 30, 31, 32, 33. And 2,300 RPMs. There's 25. There's 24. Man, we're really kind of bouncing around, aren't we? Dragging it all the way down to 23. Okay, 33.23. Now for this kind of a temperature, we want to get kind of fuel flow, 185 pounds total. 185 pounds total. And that would be getting us 67.9. I don't like that. Let's do 70% power. 70% power. That would be 34 PSI. And 33. Yeah, 34 PSI, 2,300 RPMs. And 192 pounds of fuel burn per hour total. So that puts us right around 200. Yeah, so just under 100 per side, right? We're going to watch the EGT gauges go up while I pull the clicky, you know, wow, totally mixture. Yeah, totally spacing it off here. Mixture. The mixture back. AGT's peaking. Already coming down. That's already like 50 degrees mean of peak. Wow, that's a long way down on the mixtures. Let's leave it up around 110 pounds per side, so 220 total pounds per hour, because yeah, otherwise I'm dragging the mixture way back. Okay, that's getting us a ground speed of 205, true airspeed of 210. Sure, I'm happy with that. Okay, that means we're all set for the cruise. All right, we're probably almost to Bimini, right? Yeah. 6 miles, 6 nautical miles to that first waypoint, which is over the island of Bimini, which is down there. Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about real quick, and then we'll stop the recording until we get to the top of the descent. One more quick look at the cabin temperature mini game. Yeah, you know what? We're probably going to be all right with it on the bottom of the green. Let's leave that alone. Okay, bouncing along though. Man, it's a little getting buffeted around up here. Anyway, so the real pilot I watch, that is the reason that I do the fuel pumps, do a 2 count before turning off both fuel pumps. He's a guy named Jerry Wagner, and we'll take a look at his YouTube channel right now. Switched over here. Jerry Wagner, this is his YouTube channel. He flies around in a Cessna Golden Eagle, Cessna 421C Golden Eagle, and he's pretty cool. I've watched a lot of his videos. He's really good at recording, really good at explaining what he's doing. I kind of wish sometimes, I don't know, I haven't seen all of his videos. Maybe he's got one where he's actually covering the checklist. He talks about the checklist, but he doesn't usually show him doing the checklist. And the 421C just like looks identical on the inside to this plane in the simulator, except he's got a, here we'll switch back over. He's got, instead of the standard 6-pack here, he's got a Garmin G600, which is a little twin screen thing here with the synthetic vision and all that good stuff. And then he's got, I think, just one 750 over here. But otherwise, you know, all the other controls and everything, and the plane itself looks nearly identical. So that's pretty cool. And so that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is another channel. The reason I'm doing a flight to the Bahamas is because another real pilot I watch is this person, Fly with K, and she's flying her dad to the Bahamas right now, or at least the last couple of videos have been concerning that. You know how it is. That's probably from last week or something. Who knows? But she flies a different plane. She flies a what is it? A Seminole? I can't remember now. It's a Piper. It's a Piper twin anyway. I think it's not a Seminole. I'm trying to remember, and I can't right off the top of my head. I wonder if it says in her description. Seneca. That's right. It's a Piper Seneca 3. think that's actually a little bigger than the Seminole. Anyway, but yeah, she's a really good pilot, explains a lot of stuff, fun to watch, and her and her dad play off of each other, you know, when they're in the cockpit and say some funny stuff. So yeah, just wanted to share those two YouTube channels with the tiny few people that happen to watch mine. So there we go. Let's see, I don't know what the top of the descent is going to be. It's yeah, the 750 is being nice enough to show us what the top of the descent is going to be. Of course, it's probably also got us into some kind of crazy RNAV approach that I can't change.
Cessna Papa, Whiskey
Yeah.
Bravo.
Oh, here we go. We're changing 1342. Okay.
Going to 134. 2 Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo.
3, 4, 2. Transfer. Contacting.
Miami Center Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo, 13,000 feet.
Cessna
So
November
yeah.
5 Papa Whiskey Bravo, Miami Center, altimeter 30.
Showing the top of the descent is being right after Ray J. Yeah, I mean, we're only a half hour from the destination as it is, but it has us doing a potentially convoluted RNAV approach that's going to be unnecessary, because last time I checked the weather, which was right before I started filming, the weather was nice there. 10 nautical miles visibility and all of that kind of stuff. Although this doesn't look too crazy, we might just ride this out. We might just ride this RNAV approach out. Let's does it show us? See, SkyVector doesn't give me approach plates for things outside of the U.S. So okay, oh good, it's got the altitudes. So by this one, we're supposed to be down to 2,000 feet. So that's good to do. Yeah, okay. We'll try to ride this RNAV out, because it's not doing all kinds of crazy stuff and having me do procedure turns and all of that kind of stuff. So, okay. All right. I will pause the recording, and I'll get back with you guys when either I'm at the top of the descent or something interesting happens. Let's see. All right. Okay, they just told me to descend and maintain 2,000 feet, which I'm answering them. Which I was just about to start the recording again anyway, because we're about to hit where it said top of descent. So, let's crank this down to 2,000 feet. Oh, you know what? Let's back a couple PSI off on the engines, and any second they'll tell me to expedite, because if you don't react right away, they get pissy. Okay, and let's vertical speed, and I'm not gonna screw around. We're gonna go down to 1,000 feet per minute, which I'm not looking at the checklist yet. We'll double back on the checklist. I believe we need to bring the pressurization down to 500 feet above the field elevation, which is essentially surface. So 500 feet. Yeah, expedite. Yeah, I'm descending at 1,000 feet per minute right now, so suck it. Let's see. No, I don't have an answer. Obviously, it wasn't going to give me as an option over here telling him to suck it, but I just wanted to know if I was supposed to answer. Anyway, let's look at the descent checklist. Okay, fuel selectors both of MYNN, never changed that. Pressurization set to field elevation plus 500, did that. Cal flaps closed, I did that already because the engine temps had gotten on the low side over here on these needles. Cal flaps closed, throttles gradually reduce. Yeah, working on it. Mixtures adjust to control engine temps. Altimeter set to field conditions. According to the flight weather thing on my phone, which now there's an advertisement popped up in the way. Okay, how do I get rid of this advertisement? There we go. Okay, it says 1023 HPA, which I don't actually, I gotta convert that. 1023 HPA. 1023 HPA to, okay, it took me to a converter, 1023, convert. It's still 30.21 basically. Great, that was a lot of work just to find out I didn't need to change anything. Okay, let's back the engines off some more because we are moving. Get a clicky noise. What are we doing? Maybe we will enrichen the mixture some.
Whiskey
There
Bravo
we go.
Contact, Nassau approach on 121.
121.
Good day.
Sure thing. 121. You got it, buddy.
121. 0 Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo.
Transfer. Contacting.
Nassau approach Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo is at 10,300 feet, descending 2,000 feet.
Cessna November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
Altimeter
Nassau
3020.
approach altimeter
Sure.
30. 20 radar contact continue.
Oh, that's a mouth I'm looking through now. Pardon me. No, I don't need to do anything. Okay. Alrighty. They already got me going down to 2,000 feet, so I guess it doesn't matter that we're going kind of fast. I was talking about that real pilot, Jerry Wagner, that has the 421 Golden Eagle. He's got, I think he's got speed brakes on his. He's got spoilers. So he can pop out the spoilers and slow down when he needs to. Because, yeah, the landing gear. Like I said, I've been having this issue with the landing gear. Somewhere it tells me the landing gear speed. Yeah, here we go. Maximum gear operating speed 178. Now, I've made sure that I was going under 178, which would be, let's see, this is 160, 170, it's 180, it would be right around here. I've been pretty sure that I've been under that when I've deployed the landing gear, and I've been getting this red unlocked light over here along with the 3 green. And then when I get the flaps all the way down, I get that warning alarm telling you to put your landing gear down. Except my landing gear is down. And then I've conducted 2 or 3 landings in this condition and nothing's gone wrong. So I don't know what the story is there. We'll see if it does it this time. No, we're getting too warm again on the cabin temperature minigame as we're descending, so let's turn the heat down some here. I guess I could show you what's going on over here, in case I haven't before. Yeah, you've got cabin heat, you've got left-hand warm and right-hand warm, and then cabin air. Oh, thought I was hearing a sound in the simulator. It was here in real life. Anyway, well, I wonder if I should pause the recording again since nothing seems to be happening at the moment. Let's go ahead and look ahead at the next checklist as we get ready to go through these clouds. See, the next checklist is the approach and landing. Okay. So, when I'm getting down into the approach area, we do the auxiliary fuel pumps, turn those back on low. We turn the yaw damper off, which I was experimenting with it. You can't turn the yaw damper off without disengaging the autopilot. So I'm going to try to remember to turn the yaw damper off when I disengage the autopilot. I can't promise it's going to work, but I'm going to try. Prop sync off, never used it. Landing gear down below 178. Landing lights extend on below 178. You can do the first stage of flaps below 171. And if I have the air conditioner on, I'm supposed to turn it off. And the second stage of flaps at 140, and cowl flaps open at some point in case I have to do a go around. Okay, well, we checked that out. Okay, I'll pause the recording until something happens. See you in a minute. Okay, so I'm too high and fast. I should have really listened to them when they said to expedite.
Whiskey Bravo, you are 12 miles west. Maintain present heading and altitude expect ILS runway. 14 approach via Zulu Quebec Alpha.
I think I need ILS. I don't think I need 14 either.
298 radio 14 DME.
Yeah, none of that is appropriate. I need a runway 9, which again, I think they don't know the runways. The simulator doesn't know the runways. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop on here. We're going to tell her to stand by.
Stand by Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo.
We're going to select, see, they think it's runway 10, but it's 9. We're going to do RNAV runway 10. Just vectors to final. Request approach from controller. There we go.
Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo would like RNAV runway 10 approach vectors to
RA
final.
Navy. It's an RNAV, you
Cessna Papa
doofus.
Whiskey Bravo, you are 9 miles west. Maintain present heading and altitude expect vectors ILS runway. 14 approach.
Not 14. Oh my god. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to ignore her. Actually, let's, can we cancel? Here. Acknowledge assigned approach.
Resume own navigation. Expect vectors ILS runway 14 approach Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo.
After she answers, actually, I'm going to cancel the IFR right now.
Nassau approach Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo. Cancel IFR at this time.
Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo, IFR flight plan. Is canceled radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
We're not going to bother
Nassau approach Cessna November
changing
8
the
5
frequency.
Whiskey Bravo is type Cessna 414 AW 6 miles west of Nassau 2,000 feet. Request flight following.
Oh my gosh.
Cessna Papa Whiskey Bravo, radar
We're
contact.
going to change this. You know, if the ATC wasn't such a pain. Okay, we're going to do landing gear and landing lights. I'm going to turn off the pitot heat and the stall warning heat because I'm sure it's too warm for that anyway, and we're too high. We're doing a stage of flaps, disengaging the autopilot, trying to turn off the yaw damper, and we're going to see if we can nose this baby down because there's the runway dead at. Let's see, it was 140 for the second stage. Okay, another stage of flaps. Hey, I don't have the red light at least on the landing gear, so that's something. I'm going to full on the mixture, full on the props. And I think we're going to be able to save this landing, so that's good. Yeah, if the ATC worked a little better. I don't know. Maybe I just need to give up on the Xbox and get a, try to run it on my laptop or get a better computer, build a computer or something. Ooh, wow, getting blown off course a little bit. Okay. I'm going full flap. Let's see what I forget. Oh yeah, the fuel pumps, so hard to catch. And I'm using a keyboard button to open the cowl flaps all the way. Someone keeps coming in and out of the front door, causing the dogs to bark. It's always right when I'm trying to land. See, I want to stay right around 100 knots. Approach, giving it some right rudder because I seem to be getting blown off course that way. And pulling the throttle back more. Coming down a little fast. Oh, you know what? The bottom's going to drop out. I'm going to slam into the runway. Okay, not pretty, but not the worst either. Okay, flaps coming up. Ah! That was me getting clawed by a cat, by the way. Sorry about that. Turning the fuel pumps off. And gonna try to zoom in and see if we can find a taxiway. I guess we're gonna go to the end. Let's see, what else can we do? I turn the fuel pumps off. Cowl flaps are open. So I can turn the landing lights off, turn the taxi lights on. Probably need the air conditioner on. Bet it's warm in here now. Oops. Oh, we can dump the pressurization. Let's check the temperature now. Now the cat's meowing for some reason. Cat that clawed me. Cat jumped on my back earlier. That's what was going on there. Made me forget I was recording for a second. Got the noisy air conditioner on again. Okay, what do we got here? Some kind of a taxiway. Once we get off the runway, I'll double check the checklist and see if I forgot anything. Since that all went awry in a variety of ways. Okay, clear of the runway. Boy, not a big space to park in between these two runways. Get the RPMs back up a little bit and consult the checklist. Okay, did the see flaps up, pressurization off and dump, timer stop. I forget which way to stop. There we go. 1 hour and 1 minute. Not bad. Lights, strobes off. Oh yeah, that'd be good. Okay, so I got nav and taxi on now. Transponder on standby. Standby. Auxiliary fuel pumps off. Already did that. Pitot install. Vent heat. Already did that. Cabin climate controls. Yep. Obtain clearance, which we're not doing now because I gave up on the ATC. Okay, so just the shutdown checklist next. I'll pause the recording while I look for a parking place, and then I'll get back with you for the shutdown. See you in a minute. Yeah, okay. No idea where I'm supposed to park. I complained before about too many airplanes on the ground, and now at this one, it's a ghost town. There's nothing. No big planes, no small planes, no nothing. So I figured I'd park by these trees. So, shutdown checklist. See. Parking brake set. Yep, did that. Oops. Taxi lights off. Throttle idle. Did that. Climate control off. Sure, just got it cooled down in here. Avionics master out. Mixture cutoff. Chugga. Magneto's all off. Need to move this temporarily. Imagine I can turn the nav lights off now too, probably. Yeah, lights off, battery and alternators off. I can turn the alternators off with that switch, but the battery I gotta do manually. Fuel selectors both off. I think I'm supposed to close the cowl flaps also. Close the cowl flaps. Wheel checks install and release the parking brake and install all the covers. So what we're gonna do is come back here and open the door so we can pretend like we're doing that outside stuff. And install the chocks and release the parking brake. Oh, I already did. Yeah, check that out. I didn't set the parking brake. Crazy. Okay, engine plugs, tie downs, static wicks, beater covers. Okay, and that is that. Now we will get out and walk around the plane and debrief a little bit and call it quits. Okay. Wrong button. It's this one. There we go. Okay. So, what did we learn? We learned you shouldn't have a cat in the airplane with you because the cat will jump on your back and claw you right when you're trying to land. We learned that this is a pretty hot livery, and the plane, the real plane, wasn't on the market for very long because it's gone now. I searched and searched, and it's gone. So this is still my favorite plane. I wish it was as in-depth with the systems as the Duke. I mean, this is pretty in-depth. I can pull circuit breakers and, cause things to go wrong and stuff like that, but it doesn't have the system, it doesn't quite have the system depth of the 310 from Milviz. But, it's got more depth than others, and if I won the lottery, this is the plane I would be striving for. Not this specific livery, but, it wouldn't be bad either. We learned also that the ATC, the stock ATC in Simulator 2024 still really blows, which is a shame. Sure wish I could get, like, say, intentions or something like that. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Maybe one day. Alright. No idea what I'm going to do in the next video. Might fly this again. Might not. I don't know. You'll find out shortly after I find out. But anyway, hope you guys had a good time, and we'll see you in the next one. This is Papa Whiskey Bravo signing out.